So when you think of this problem, first we have to think about the restrictions of x and y. So x can't be larger than the sum of the other two sides. That's a rule of a triangle, because if you think about it, if x is 11, let's just say 11, even if it's like this, it can't stretch out because the farthest point it has is 10, and it won't be a triangle. So it would be like this much off, like one. It would be one off. So, so we already know that. So x can't a side of the triangle can't be more than the other two sides. And then we also have another restriction where x can't be smaller than the difference of the other two sides, which is 2. Sorry, I'm struggling to write it here. So that also makes sense, because if you have 1, right? If you have 1, then it would be really, you can't create a triangle. So it's 2. X has to be larger than 2, and x has to be smaller than 10. And y is the same because it's the same sides. Okay, so now we have this absolute value right here. And for the absolute value, to make the smallest possible number, x has to be the smallest possible number, and y has to be the largest possible. And we can just set x as, let's say, it can't be 2, so we can do 2.01. And we can set y as 9.99 because it can't be over 10. So once we subtract it, we have the absolute value of negative 7.98. And that equals 7.98. We notice here that we can't get 8. That's the only number that obviously 10 is crossed out, 2 is crossed out, because we can't get those two either. But we can't get 8. That's the smallest possible number. And even if we try, let's just say 2.000001 or 9.999999, we still can't get 8 because that it restricts us. If you have 10 as y, which we can't do, and we have 2 as x, which we can't do either, then we can get 8. But the inequalities of the triangle restrict us. So the only possible the smallest positive number that is not a possible value of absolute value of x minus y is 8.